Hey
Kyle
guys,
review.
just finished
Like and
watching
subscribe.
Supergirl, Season 5, Episode 5, Dangerous Liaison. Um, this episode was very interesting, really good episode, dealt a lot with the season as things moving forward, dealt a little bit with, you got a lot of Lena kind of moving forward with her plans, and I felt like it was a bit fast with Lena kind of from one episode to the next. In this whole episode, she captured Malefic last episode, and then this episode she figures out how to copy his mind control stuff right away. I don't know, just would have liked to have seen her maybe later, like one more episode. But then again, I also like the way they're doing it, because I feel like if they had dragged it out, they would have dragged it on for way too long, and I'm glad that things are kind of moving really fast. And it's going to be interesting to see if that storyline with Lena and stuff, is that going to get, the Flash, they're supposed to have like two stories this season, the pre-crisis season, pre-crisis story, and then after-crisis story. So hopefully Supergirl will have something like that, especially if they're going to be crashing everything into one Earth, and Supergirl's going to be changed to a different Earth. That'll be a whole set of problems on its own. That'll be really fun to play with. And I think going into that, I think it'd be quite interesting to see have Lena do her stuff, this mind control, and it get into the wrong hands, or things go bad with it. She does her evil Lena things, right? And then it destroys her reputation, and everyone's trusting her. The DEO, Kara's trusting her completely, and then she has to go into post-crisis with Lena, with not trusting Lena whatsoever. And I think that is really going to be cool. Maybe even she uses this mind control stuff to have Kara do some things, and to ruin the reputation of Supergirl, right? And she goes too far with it, right? Or we know that Lex Luthor is supposed to be back for Crisis, right? I mean, he might just be playing Alexander Luthor or anything like that as the role from Crisis in the comic book. So we don't know how things are going to go with that. But it would be cool to see, Lena kind of control Supergirl and doing some bad things as Supergirl to tarnish Supergirl's name type thing. And I think that would be really quite interesting to see. And maybe Lex Luthor gets a hold of it and starts controlling Supergirl and pushes it further than anything. Or, maybe I don't know, I just definitely can't wait to see where things go, just so that it destroys Kara's relationship. I want to see Kara's, once things, maybe Lena goes too far, and then she realizes she's gone too far, and then Kara finds out, and then it's just their relationship. I want it to never be healed. Don't heal her. There were season 5. Don't heal the relationship till spend a whole season 6 of them kind of being evil enemies, or Kara seeing her as completely an enemy and not wanting to talk to her whatsoever, and then, the end of season 7, or halfway through season 7, then you bring it back. So I want a season and a half of Kara just kind of not trusting her whatsoever, and I think that's going to be quite interesting to see as to where things go. But I feel like with the show, she's probably going to just start trusting her by the end of next season. She might start, lose faith with her halfway through this season, and then by the end of the season, they'll be best of friends again back into season 6 as if nothing ever happened. So we'll have to wait and see as to where things go with that. The storyline with trying to looking into Leviathan and thinking that what's her face there, the girl running the Kakyo and stuff, that her family's all involved with trying to destroy the world and stuff. That's an interesting kind of storyline and stuff, and I think it was really kind of interesting as to how things were going. And it really was a good scene. There was a good scene between William and Roja, the Roja family, and how they were. He was talking about this whole episode that he was going to tell her that he's on to her and all that stuff, and he did it, but only inside of the virtual reality. That was really cool. And there's a villain in this episode. I haven't heard of this villain from the comics, so I'm gonna take a look and see if he's anywhere from the comics. But definitely seems like a discount Doc Ock, trying to copy Dr. Octavius and stuff. But definitely have to wait and see as to where things go. I really like this episode. I'd like to see more involves with Crisis. Just kind of. Because we originally, at the end of last episode, we saw that the Monitor was the one to release Malefic out of his prison. So what was his deal? Why did the Monitor release Malefic? And if so, wouldn't Lena be controlling him and getting him trapped? Wouldn't that put is that part of Monitor's plan? Or is that something that's getting in the way of the Monitor's plan? That would be something cool to see. Maybe see the Monitor here and there. I mean, we only see him bits and pieces on the other show. He's only on there one scene there. So it's really not difficult to have the actor bounce back and forth through the episodes and through the different shows if he's only appearing one scene, one short, quick scene, right? So I think it would have been interesting to see at this point by now, five episodes in, his connection to Supergirl and why he released Malefic. I'd like to see that. I like the way they used John in here, how John Jones was actually going around as a detective and he was used to try and help find things and stuff, and I like that. Getting away from because we've delved a lot into his backstory, dealing with his father, dealing with his brother now, and it just seems a little bit repetitive. I'd like to dive into a bit more of the detective aspect of him from the comics, and that's something that we haven't done yet. He did do it, but in this episode, but we didn't really see it. So I think we didn't need to see it that much. It's all obviously a Supergirl show. We don't need to see all of it, but it would be cool to see a bit more of him being a detective and playing with that. Maybe him and Supergirl have to team up to become. To do some detective work. That would be really cool. So I definitely can't wait to see as to where things go. I didn't understand how Dreamer used her powers on the tidal wave. That made no sense to me. And then this giant guzzling thing of water was going around. They had to spin around it. Supergirl couldn't just freeze it with her breath, freeze it in mid formation. She's supposed to be fast enough to, turn. If I'm not mistaken, when they first had Superman in here, they referenced him being fast enough to spin around the Earth so fast that it spun the Earth around to change back time as Christopher Reeve did. So she should be fast enough to do that, right? I didn't understand that, but I also definitely didn't understand whatsoever how the hell Dreamer did anything. How she was blasting it. She hit one spot, broke a spot in the wave, and the whole wave just came down out of nowhere. I didn't really understand as to what happened there. It feels like they deleted a scene where Brainiac probably explained to her what he wanted her to do, and we didn't get that as to how she's supposed to use her powers to stop a tidal wave. But oh well. So we'll have to wait and see as to where things go. The next episode looks a bit like a filler episode, so hopefully it is. Maybe it's involving someone's taking over the EO. Hopefully maybe it's Lena. We'll just have to wait and see as to where things go with that. So let me know what you think, guys, in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Okay, Kyle has a YouTube channel called Kyle Reviewed. It's about Marvel and DC. I happen to know a little bit about DC since my initials are DC. All right, so if you like Kyle's interviews and videos and reviews and everything like that, then like and subscribe. If you don't like them, well, maybe you're just not a comic book fan.